Hi, Sarina. How are you?
I'm great. Colby, as you know, the pool is my most favorite place to be in any part of the house when I can be outside. And I'm really excited that we're bringing on Louis Serta, who is the owner and founder of Rayco Maintenance Solutions. He is an expert for the past 19 years in service, repairs, remodeling, and now construction of pools. My most favorite place to be. Welcome, Louis.
Hi, Sarina. How are you?
I'm great. We're excited that you're here with us. Colby, why don't you kick it off? Because you actually have been working with Louis for many years. You've seen it all. You've had multiple pools at this point. So let's jump in.
So, Lewis, I've known him for probably 15 years. He has taken care of multiple pools of mine and my family and my clients. He is my go to for anytime I have an inspection on a property. I'll always call Lewis and say, hey, can you just stop by and just tell me about the pool? Do I need a filter? Is there a crack? He is always available. I love that about him. And it's such a pleasure to have you on the show. Buyers always ask me, chlorine versus salt. What's the difference? Is it expensive to change it to salt? Do they need to have it? What is your opinion on that?
Well, my first question when I recommend having a salt system or not is, do you guys use the pool? Because it's basically the salt system, it makes the pool healthier. The water feels softer. So if you're going to use your pool, let's say over 10, 15 times in a year, it makes sense to have it because you're going to prevent eye irritations and skin too. The people that are very sensitive skin, the chlorine will create some kind of reactions on it. Having the salt system, it makes the water very soft to use. Yes, it's an investment that they have to do the conversion, buying the equipment and put the salt in the water. But to me, and almost every new pool now, they are using salt system just to be having a more healthy water. That's basically what it is.
Fantastic. And now I have a question that really has to do with gas heat versus electric heat and what you suggest, because many communities will run on gas, but kind of what would you recommend?
Well, before advising getting a gas heater versus electrical, I always ask how fast you want to heat your pool. So, basis on, yeah, I don't mind about timing. Yeah, I want to get it fast. So, the gas heaters, they heat up the water faster, but they are like the old cars. They need a lot of gas to be able to heat up the water. And so it's when the compared to the heat pumps takes longer. Obviously, the cost of the equipment is a big difference too. Gas heaters are a little bit less expensive than heat pumps, but this is the tricky part: gas bill. So the gas heaters they need a lot of gas, like I said, and then when you compare the electrical bill versus the electrical is way cheaper than gas. I'm in probably 80-85% efficient, the heat pumps versus the gas one. So these communities that they're running the gas lines for anything on their house, most of the builders and installers they recommend gas because the gas is right there. But I always think about the homeowner side, like it's not even the investment, it's just the saving when you want to use the heater. So there is a way to use it. You need more time for the heat pump to heat out the water versus the gas. The killer combo would be having two, gas and electrical. But that's another history that I would explain you versus the pool. If it's a big pool, a small spa, no spa, all those kind of things makes, let's say, the decision having the two units at the same time. But to me, heater, the electrical, no brain. I have it on my own pool too.
Sounds good.
Okay, next question. What's the time frame typically that a pool finish will last for?
Okay, well, the most important thing is the application. You can do the best chemistry in the world for all these years, but if the application is not done right, the surface will not last. Typical goes between 7 to 10 years. That's the life expectation of the surface. But if the application was done incorrectly, 3 years, the surface is gone. So also, I mean, if you apply the surface good and you do the right chemistry, you can have easy at least 10 years.
And a lot of my buyers, because my buyers are coming from the north mainly,
Okay.
but they're all asking me about pool liners. That's, they always say, do pools down here have pool liners?
In South Florida, no, just granite and concrete. It's not very common having liners here.
My question is about how long in a typical day should you run your pool for?
Good question. Hey, on the rule of thumb, the says that has to be 1 hour for every 10 degrees outside. So if we have 80, 90 degrees, though it's going to be like 8, 9 hours running the filtration pump. The idea is passing the whole water of the pool through the filter at least one time every 6 hours. So which means it's a large pool, it's going to need more than 6 hours to pass all this water through the filter. But having those smart pump, variable speed pumps, 2-speed motors, that make a very different way to run the pumps, because you can run it on a low speed, but you need to run it more time. But you're gonna have some savings on electricity right there. People always cut the hours of filtration time because of the cost. But in summer, when it's hot, we need to have those pumps running. So the best way to know how many hours is based on the temperature outside. If we have 100 degrees, then you have to put 10 hours. If you have kids, you have dogs, that makes a little bit more changing too. Needs a little bit more filtration time.
Okay. And what about, how long does a filter last for? If it's running according to what you recommend.
Well, it just depends on the pool. If it's a busy pool or not. But those we use a lot of cartridge filters down here in Florida, and those cartridges, they at least have to be replaced once a year. Again, every pool is different. If it's a busy pool, every 6 months, every 3 months. If the houses use a well water, have a softener system, those things makes a big impact of the cartridge too. But typical around a year.
Okay, great.
Do you think it's a good investment for a pool to have the pool app that you can control everything off your phone?
It all depends on the pool and the people too. If you have a basic pool with nothing, just the pump and filter, and unless that you want to control the landscape lighting or something, yes, you can use a pool automation for it. But if you have a pool and spa combo and have water features and have color lights, you definitely, why? Because there is no other easy way to control your pool. On the app, on the phone, or on a tablet, you can turn the lights on, put the color you want. You can turn the heater, you can turn the pump, the blowers, the water features, you name it. So on me, it's no brainer. I will get an automation for the pools for sure.
Great. Okay, so I wonder if this is a myth or if this is true. Does a darker finish keep the pool water warmer?
Well, it's a little true. I mean, darker surfaces, what it does is they absorb more sunlight than lighter surfaces. I'm talking about a very dark surfaces like black, very dark brown. So when the sun hits the pool, those darkers, they collect more the sun. The lighter ones, which is a little white with blue, they bounce out the heat.
Got it. Okay, cool. Oh, well, this has been great. I mean, we definitely went through a quick fire round. Anything else that you want to add? Otherwise, we want to tell people how to get on your schedule.
Okay, it's racopools.com. That's the website. The phone number of my main phone number is 954-825-1097. Or they can use the email at info@racopools.com.
Fantastic. Well, run, don't walk to get on Lewis's schedule, everyone, because he is Colby's go-to, and he should be your go-to for all service, repairs, remodeling, and construction of your pools. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having me, guys.
Louis, thank you as always. And I want people to know, they don't really realize this. Pool service down here versus New York or anywhere up north, they do it weekly. People don't realize that Lewis's company, they come weekly and they service it. It's so funny. They're like, they come weekly? I'm like, yeah, they come weekly. So I just want to point that out. Louis, I'm so glad you came on. Thank you for helping us and
Thank you.
enlightening us. I appreciate
My
it.
pleasure.